Help your child succeed at school. What parents need to know. Part 4, Learning Challenges. This presentation is funded in part by the Minnesota Department of Education Federal Award State Personnel Development Grant. This is the fourth part of a 4-part series. Our goal is to help you help your child succeed at school. In part 1, we talked about why family involvement is so important and gave you some ideas to try. In part 2, we focused on reading skills. In part 3, we looked at teachers' top tips for learning success at school. In this part of the series, we will help you know if your child is learning and making progress at school. We'll also give you tips to help your child succeed if he or she has a disability and may not learn in the same ways as other children. How do I know if my child is learning? The school provides information in several ways, through report cards, progress reports, testing reports, and at teacher conferences. And if your child receives special education services, you will also receive an IEP progress report. When looking at information about your child, important questions about progress to ask include, how is my child doing compared to other students his age or grade level? How much progress has he or she made in reading in this particular period of time, for instance, the last 3 months? And if he or she continues at that rate of progress, how will he or she be doing by the end of the school year? If you receive a report and you don't understand what it means for your child, be sure to ask more questions until you understand. But what if my child is not able to learn as other children do? Well, sometimes small changes can make a big difference. For example, see if they need glasses. To help children follow a text, provide a note card or a bookmark to slide down each line of text as they read. Some kinds of medical conditions and disabilities may require an even more individualized or special way of teaching reading. The child may also need special reading materials, such as large print or braille for a student with a vision impairment. When the school or the parents suspect that there may be something going on, a disability perhaps, that impacts the child educationally, they should take the necessary steps to identify the problem and determine what kind of help is needed. If you have concerns about your child, you may wish to start by speaking with your child's medical care provider as well as your child's teacher. Pacer Center is also available as a resource to help parents learn how to get the help their child needs. The following slides will identify several specific disabilities or learning challenges and give tips for helping children with those disabilities succeed at school. These tips for parents of children with learning and other disabilities are from the Reading Rockets. Let's start with Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, sometimes referred to as ADD, or Attention Deficit Disorder. If your child has ADHD, paying attention for long periods of time can be a challenge. So meet the challenge head on. Make reading time a fun time for you and your child so that it will seem to go quickly. First, pick a quiet spot away from TV, radio, and video game noise. Read for short periods at a time, and then put the book away if your child loses interest. Pick up the book again later and read for another short period of time. Reading time can also help your highly energetic child calm down for naps or bedtime. In addition, reading together for 10 minutes in the morning is a nice way to get the day started on a positive note. If your child has a learning disability, discover how your child learns best and include that approach to reading. For example, if your child is an auditory learner, they learn best by hearing. Listening to a story being read while following along in the book may be a good strategy for your child. Your child will have certain areas of strengths or skills and interests. Focus on those areas as kind of a launching pad for learning other skills. For example, if reading print is a difficult and frustrating task, Provide other ways to learn about the letter-sound relationship by playing word games like Boggle, or use activities from the reading activity cards available from Pacer. Children with learning disabilities often learn best when they can use more than one sense, such as the sense of sight, to learn or to read. Create and provide activities that are multi or many sensory, those that use two or more of the five senses, such as hearing, touching, and even acting out words. Children with language problems may have trouble sharing their thoughts with words or gestures. Children with speech difficulties may have a hard time saying words clearly or understanding spoken or written language. Reading to your child and having her name objects in a book, or having the child read aloud to you, can strengthen speech and language skills. To help ease the difficulties, try to talk and say new words in the story before you begin to read it. For children who have autism spectrum disorders, or ASD, you may find sharing books together is a good way to connect with your son or daughter. Reading also helps your child's language development and listening skills. As you know, having ASD impacts the way your child reacts to situations and to people and how he or she looks at the world around them. Children on the autism spectrum often have trouble making eye contact and sharing their thoughts with words or gestures. Some children have a very short attention span when being read to or when reading. So try reading for short periods of time, pointing to and naming objects as you read. Other children with ASD may read very early and show intense interest in certain subjects and want to read everything they can on that topic. Whether your child has mild or severe ASD, making reading a fun activity can help your child's learning and social skills. And if your child likes routine in their day, try reading the favorite book to help them move from one task to another. For example, reading can set a stage for nap time or rest time or bedtime. Reading can help prepare for new activities or transitions, or can help explain social skills in a fun and interesting way. Work with your child's behavior and perhaps occupational therapist to learn ways to use reading to help your child learn in these areas. No matter what your child's needs are, you can help him or her learn to be successful at school when you set small goals and then celebrate successes along the way. For more information, you may want to use one or more of the additional resources on this slide: Reading Rockets, Color in Colorado, Scholastic, and Pacer. For help in locating additional resources or to order the Family Fun Reading Activity Cards, you can contact Pacer at 952-838-9000 or 1-800-537-2237. You have completed watching Part 4 of the series on helping your child succeed at school. Parents can make the difference.